Hello, how are you? The Chinese New Year this year, I mean, the holidays were over, and now, of course, the spring is coming. But that's the Chinese New Year's that we call, that is the Yokohama City Chinatown, which is the largest in the world. There are over 450 Chinese restaurants. And also, it's very, very clean. Although it tends to be kind of expensive to eat out there. Um, my experience, of course, that was the last century, so I don't know how it is now. But usually in Europe, for example, uh, Chinese restaurants are kind of like inexpensive, but then you can eat a lot of food so that you would leave the restaurant really satisfied. You are full. A lot of food, inexpensive. So that is ch the Chinese restaurant in Europe. Also, in the United States, there are, of course, very expensive Chinese restaurants to rather inexpensive Chinese restaurants. In the middle, of course, all kinds of Chinese restaurants exist in in the United States. But usually, when I used to go, was the good takeout Chinese food as well as eating inside the restaurants. And the prices are not that expensive. Yet, of course, very, very good Chinese restaurant for uh, using for the parties or something like that. Can be expensive, but generally it's not. Of course, in the United States, of course, we call them Chinese restaurant, but also we say Guantanese, uh, Shanghainese, Pekinese, Nanjing style, Hong Kong style, uh, Kung Pao style, Sichuan food. So, just because in California there are many, many Asian restaurants and many, many different kinds of Chinese languages as well as food and the people there. So, if people are familiar with those ethnic food, then people would say, let's go eat the Sichuan food. Well, let's go and eat Guangdong food, shall we? That kind of thing, instead of just saying Chinese food. Um, for Japanese food in California, is still, well, recently the young people would say, let's go and eat some sushi, or let's go and eat some tempura or teriyaki, or ramen, or shall we eat some sashimi and stuff. But then outside of big cities, people say just let's go and eat Japanese. And they go like, ooh, I don't know. I've never experienced that. Well, I'll give a try. That's kind of thing, of course. I was very surprised when I was very young that some Americans really could not use the chopsticks well enough to eat. My family and my relatives in America, they all could use chopsticks and Chinese, Japanese, even Korean food. Uh, well, those ethnic food were not something new or strange. We already knew how to eat them, how to enjoy them. And we had those friends in our schools or in our neighborhood. So that's not a problem. But some relatives from Florida or Kansas or even West Coast or even East Coast, some uh, relatives were not very familiar with Asian food. And of course, in Hollywood area, there are many, many Thai restaurants. Then there are mainly two different Thai food. One is Chinese Thai, the other one is Thai Thai, if I may say. And the food tends to be quite different. And also talking about Thai people in California, well, especially my hometown, Los Angeles. Um, to me, I could not make a difference. Although some Thai people look rather kind of like a Chinese, uh, fair skin, uh, straight black hair, the kind of like slanty eyes. And especially those people who just came to the United States as an immigrant, of course, they were not born in the United States, so they don't speak English well enough. Then they would uh, learn English at night schools and stuff. And they used, some of them used uh, their Chinese, Thai Chinese, excuse me, not a Thai. Let me say that again. Some Thai people, if they use uh, Chinese English dictionary or English Chinese dictionary, then although they are Thai people, but they are Chinese Thai. Then the other people who also came from Thailand, their dictionary is Thai English or English Thai. So they're both Thai people, yet some people who go to school in the Chinese language, and the other group of people would go to school in the Thai language. So, and that was kind of like a new to me. Of course, I was just a teenager then. Now, Chinese, of course, there are 50, I believe 56 languages exist. So that means 56 kind of different tribes of people or a group of uh, ethnic groups, of course. Then, of course, different languages, but then they have the common language or official language, which is called Mandarin Chinese, Mandarin. And the Chinese people call it common language, 普通话 or something, 普通话 or something like that. So that means the language for everyone. So the common Chinese language, which in English we call it uh, Mandarin. But of course, Cantonese, which used to be, I think, widely used in Hong Kong area, uh, years ago, usually Hong Kong movies that we enjoyed karate and the dragon movies. And that's Cantonese, which is different from Putonghua or uh, Mandarin. Anyway, uh, it is mid-March right now, and I do have the seasonal allergies. So already, I, sorry, my runny nose doesn't seem to stop. My tearing, itchy eyes, sneezing constantly that I have to deal with. So please forgive me this week. Although I have taken some medicine, yet uh, it doesn't seem to be working well enough. So now the Chinese New Year's is over. Next, well, I would say Christian, especially the Catholic style. It is called Easter. And Catholic people, if they are traditional believers, they would usually do some fasting. That doesn't mean they don't eat anything or they don't drink anything. No, 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 no. But they would stop drinking alcoholic beverages, eating meat. So they become sort of like a vegetarians for 40 days until the Easter Sunday comes. And after Easter Sunday service at church, people would share a big feast, especially a lot of meat as well. And some people would drink kind of a champagne or just a moderate amount of alcoholic drinks to enjoy. So, what would they eat? Well, vegetable, of course, bread, rice, pasta, couscous, a some eggs, especially a lot of beans because they need to have some protein. And you can get very rich and good quality of protein out of the beans. So until Easter Sunday, many Catholic people practice fasting, uh, only refrain themselves from eating uh, meat. And some people even don't eat fish either. Uh, they become strictly eating uh, vegetable eaters or vegetarians. But some people, of course, eat some fish and some eggs, but not only meat. So that's different depending on what they wanted to do, how they would like to spend. That's called Lent. It is the 40 days before Easter, called the Lent. And the Catholic people usually practice that in the United States. And of course, I have the experience as well. Well, in Japan, I don't know. I used to do that, and I think also it is good to practice that because eating meat tends to make my allergic reaction worse. Without meat, the symptoms of my allergies seem to be less than when I eat meat. So it might be coming from those seasonal things for thousands and thousands of years. The allergies existed for thousands of years. Some famous people like Alexander the Great, or some of the famous pharaohs of Egypt, and some of famous Japanese, uh, I would say, shoguns or kind of kings, uh, Nobunaga, Oda, or those kind of people, to name a few. Uh, we think, well, the scientists think they must have had allergies. So I'm kind of glad I'm not the only one who is suffering. And over the years, also in Japan, more and more people started to suffer from it. I have started to suffer from the allergies. As far as I remember, when I was 3 years old, I was a little boy who sneezes so often. And the people said, "Oh my gosh, you got a cold. You got to see a doctor." Well, it's not a cold because I don't have a fever. I don't have any chills or uh, coughing, but I just cannot stop sneezing or running nose or itchy eyes. So I had it since when I was 3. So many people started to say allergies, or what I call pollen uh, allergy or whatever. But hey, that's nothing new to me. Of course, in California, probably half of the people suffer from some kind of allergies anyway. So that's been there as far as I know. My grandparents also suffered from it too. So, and it started recently in Japan for the last like 25 years or something like that. But in France, of course, in Australia, they always had that. And the medicine that I used to use in the United States is much stronger. So Japanese commercialized the medicines, they just never work for me. Even I sometimes ask my doctor to prescribe some medicine for me to stop my allergic symptoms, but they don't really work well either, just because dosage of Japanese medicine tends to be smaller. The amount of uh, the medication in the pills or capsules, or they tend to be a smaller amount. I used I'm used to use, well, uh, should I say stronger, or well, I was using a large amount of allergy medicine or big pills, stronger allergy medicine when I was back in the United States. So, and even sometimes my doctor used to import a good allergy medicine from England. So, Japanese new medicines, even they come up with the new ideas and stuff, they just don't help me, unfortunately. I wish I didn't have to use so much medicine, but they say for the allergy, the best way to deal with it is to take medicine. So if you newly started to developing some allergies, especially this time of the year, well, congratulations. Welcome to the Allergy Members Club. And so don't get panic. Uh, well, try eating less meat or alcoholic beverages. and become sort of like a vegetarians, eat a lot of beans to take uh, protein. Perhaps that helps. But the best way to deal with your allergies is to take the medicine. Okay, that's all for today. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.